Um, well, I started writing when I was 16. It was just after the 2008-2009 attack on Gaza. And I started writing because first I needed to write. I thought it was, I felt like it was a really important thing for me to do first, and then to do it for other people. I was also encouraged to write, which is another reason that was, very powerful in my decision to write. There have been so many experiences during the 2008-2009 attacks. Everyone felt in danger. I was lucky to be with my family at the time, but it kept going through my mind. Questions like, what if I'm not with my family? What if I lose my family? And we kept hearing these stories about, children who either got injured or lost their homes or their families or members of their families. And I just wanted to explore that and write about from my point of view and from a person living in that danger's point of view. And the other reason is to let people know. Basically, I felt like people had no idea what everyone was going through. The media was just, giving numbers, telling people how many people died in the last hour or in the last day, and you rarely heard the stories of the people who were being reported in the news. You saw footage of destruction, photos of children whose limbs were cut off, or people who were really or badly injured. And I just thought that, people don't really know us. They need to hear our voice. And this will help them identify with us the way I identify with other people's works of literature. So yeah. So when I wrote that story, I had never been to the West Bank, but I had been doing research about the wall. I've been reading a lot about it and watching a lot of videos and documentaries about it, and it just put me in a state where I felt like I was in a prison, basically. I mean, in Gaza, you are in this small place, yet you don't see the walls of your prison because I don't live on the border. I don't really see neither the fence or the wall on the northern border, and I don't see the buffer zone that is eating most of the strip as well. But through that research, I felt like I was exposed to being in the West Bank. I saw images of the gray cement that is like circling entire cities, and I saw pictures of people demonstrating and being attacked by the Israeli army, and it just made me feel like I wouldn't be able to tolerate if I lived in that situation, and 2 years later or 1 year later, I got to go to the West Bank. I went like 3 times. The first two, I wasn't allowed to get out of the car because I was going for a visa interview, and so we were driven from the Gaza border to the place we had to be interviewed at and back. And it's a place where I grew up calling my country. I mean, the whole time I was in the car, I had these conflicting feelings about whether I should be happy or sad, and it was just eventually it was just really sad. I felt like I was in my country, but I'm not really allowed to be here. I saw all sorts of people there. Everyone was walking in the street, just doing what normal people do, and I was just in a car, not allowed to even be a tourist in my own country. And then I went a third time, and to cross the Qalandia checkpoint to visit my sister. And so I visited her for just one night, and the day I had to go back to Jerusalem because I was there with a diplomatic entity, and I had to say goodbye to my sister outside the checkpoint, and that was the last time I saw my sister. Although I've been through the Erez checkpoint, crossing the Qalandia checkpoint was one of the most overwhelming experiences I had. It just made me feel so dehumanized. After I crossed the checkpoint, I got into this bus, and the bus drove by the wall, and just the sight of it made me sob. It was a really painful experience, and I couldn't imagine myself living there all my life. And that's when I knew that what I wrote in that story, I don't know if it did or did not measure the sadness that I felt, but I felt like it did describe how someone would feel in that situation, even though I didn't feel that way. Another point regarding writing about the West Bank is that, although we live in Gaza and we're not allowed to go there, a lot of us identify with the people there. It's not like they live in a completely different world. Like I said, they experience checkpoints, military incurs, being taken to jail, administrative detention. Their children are being taken to jail as well. So really, we don't. We feel them, and that's why we don't feel like our responsibility is just to write about Gaza.
In a lot of parts of the Gaza Writes Back, it's written that writing is a form of resistance, of political and individual resistance. What do you think about that?
I think it's absolutely true. In Palestine, we, like I said about the media, you rarely get to hear a Palestinian narrative, and when you are, I am a Palestinian, and I do write, and I give people a Palestinian narrative. I'm resisting the other narrative, which is trying to dehumanize me and show me in a way that is not true. So it is a form of resistance, absolutely. As for individual resistance, I can say it's for me, writing was a need. I needed to. This was what was happening around me, internally, psychologically, whatever you want to call it. So yeah.